Hello everybody, it looks like we are live. I want to welcome you to Montezuma. It is a little bit rainy. That's okay. It's not too bad. Now last I checked, last I really checked the forecast for Montezuma, most of the rain would be before 1 o'clock. We're getting close to 1 o'clock. It is still a little bit wet. But maybe it's tapering off. Maybe I shouldn't say anything to jinx it. But anyway, that's how we are. Temperature is 53 degrees. And, quite honestly, if it stops raining but stays cloudy, I think that would be great. What have I seen since I arrived? I have seen a number of ducks out there flying around. I have not been able to really identify them. I think maybe mostly mallards, but I don't know. I've seen a few gulls. I've seen 2 northern harriers, a number of tree swallows flying here and there and there and here, and I heard a northern flicker, and I saw 2 Canada geese, and that's pretty much it. Oh, what do I see way out there? Way out there I see something with my binoculars, but it's too far to see. I don't know if I can show you or not. Way out there, and I don't know. This is through the windshield, so I don't know if we'll be able to get it. Maybe not. I don't even know where it is now. I don't know. Seemed like a fairly large bird, without a very rapid wing beat. So I don't know what it was. But anyway. Let me just get situated here a little bit more. Okay. Didn't see much on my way up here, by the way. I did see 2 or 3 red-tailed hawks, but and I did speak with someone inside the visitor center just a short while ago, and she said it's been quiet. I think I see a harrier in the distance. Hold on. Rain is off in a... No, that's not the harrier. Where'd the harrier go? Where's my harrier? As I said, I've seen 2 of them to this point already. They were not very close, but they were out there. They were out there a little ways. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that harrier again. Oh. Somewhere in... Is that it? Yep, that looks like it. Anyway, let's head out there. We've got quite a bit I'd like to see today if all goes well. And we don't really have all that much time to see it. I think today up here, I may be more likely to give an area the hook more quickly, just because I want to keep things moving along. And if we're not seeing, things of interest, we're going to keep moving. Days are getting shorter and shorter. I'm going to open this window. So again, 53 degrees according to my thermometer, a little bit rainy. I believe towards the later, I don't remember if this was the Ithaca forecast I had read, or maybe Montezuma, or both, I don't know. But I believe actually the clouds should be decreasing towards the end of the day, but I don't know how much later in the day that will be. The forecast I had read last in detail, which may have been last night, and things do change quickly, for Montezuma had indicated, you know, most of the rain would fall before 1 o'clock, and there wasn't going to be all that much rain in the first place. So, you know, we may be here at about the right time to have a decent look around. We've been here in the rain before. The rain just causes a problem. I mean, we can always, you could say, well, just keep the windows closed. Well, sure, but when the I'm hearing somebody. Sounds almost like either a house sparrow or a song sparrow chip note. Given the location, I would say, well, it sounds more like house sparrow to me. And I just saw the sparrow, but I didn't get to look at it closely enough to determine. It didn't quite sound like the chip note of a song sparrow, but I may be wrong. Please note that I may always be wrong, whatever you're talking about. In terms of fall colors, at least in my travels, I would say that this year might be a little better than last year and the year before, but that's not saying much. Maybe seeing up in the trees. I can't see them now. There must be some red-winged blackbirds around, but I'm not sure if I've seen them or not. I do see a red-winged blackbird now. Just one anyway, but it's there, right over, well, right over here. Hi guys. Good to see you. You know what? Believe it or not, I want to take a look at it with the other camera. And I say believe it or not only because we've seen them so often, but you know, pretty soon we won't be seeing them much at all. So a quick look wouldn't hurt. So let me switch cameras here. Give me a moment. You see what a difference the right kind of light can make? You know, this may not be the prettiest in terms of sunshine, you know, from behind, from behind us onto the subject, but we get to see some detail we don't ordinarily get to see here, because the lighting is just right for that. Cute. Am I in the way, or can I hold on, I got a car here that kind of blocking its way. Oh, well, okay. The red-winged blackbird took off anyway, so. Actually, I see it again. But hold on one second. Wanted to look in the channel to our right. I just took a quick look. I didn't see anything down there. Let's see if we can get this same blackbird in view again very briefly. Where are you? There you are. That could be better. Where are you? Come on, where are you? I see another one coming right in. Where are you? They're both right there. We'll move on in a moment, but who's this? Hold on. Oh, come on, Ferris. Female? Looks like a female. Look. So this is a female red-winged blackbird, if you didn't know. Hey. I still see her, I just don't know if I can find her for the camera. Okay, now I can't see. Alright, we're going to move on. Hold on one second here. Yes, we're going to move on. And I might as well, hold on. I'm going to leave everything in place for the moment. Maybe doing things a little bit differently today. Just a little. We'll see. You know, I am going to switch cameras. I might as well. Mowed a bit. I think it had been last week. And you can see there's been some mowing over on this side as well. Oh, who's that way out there? A couple northern harriers. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, I don't know if we've already seen one of those two, but you know, these grasses are really in the way. I love them. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. Oops. Shoot. That looks like an eagle. Bald eagle out there. Way out there. It's not close, so we're not going to try to stay with it too much. Terrier isn't very close. I'm not even bothering to record at the moment. We're going to keep moving. You know, this all just goes to show you, you don't know. You can't just say, all right, beautiful day, you're going to see a lot of birds. You know, last week, by this point here, at Wildlife Drive, we had seen essentially nothing, and all of a sudden we're seeing quite a bit. Now granted, it's a week later into migration, but we're seeing already more activity in terms of larger birds in the air. And we've seen an eagle, we've seen a couple northern harriers, lots of ducks flying around out there. I'm not sure what they are, but they're flying. Now, as I complained inside at the visitor center, I was told, you know, well, the water's coming back in. Yeah, I know, and they have mowed something, but they're not. I don't think they're going to do anything way out there. At least I don't believe so. So, you know, we've got a lot of grasses, and that's all we have, grasses. So, you know, there are ducks out there, obviously. But the problem is, you know, when they may be going towards the water and you know, sitting out there as we're accustomed to having them sit out there, feeding, resting, swimming, you know, all that. But we can't see them with the grasses in the way. So we'll make do as best we can. Was told by the person in the visitor center, you know, they haven't tilled out there yet, and I asked, are you sure they're going to till or mow or something? And she wasn't sure. And quite honestly, here we are. It's almost mid-October, and you know, I can only say, not that I'm a biologist or an expert in any way, shape, or form, but I would be very hesitant to do anything to disturb things out there now, you know, with birds coming in, you know, trying to rest, trying to feed, trying to do everything. I wouldn't want to disturb everything now. So if they're going to do it at all, I wonder if it's too late. I was talking to, let's see a gull over to our right in the air. I was talking to some people the other day, just very quickly about Montezuma and how great it can be, especially during migration season. And got to the subject of snow geese and everything, and I'm hoping that if we're lucky, maybe we'll see flocks of them flying around. I would say our luck in seeing snow geese has been a lot better in the late winter, early spring than it has been in the autumn. So I don't know if I'm counting on seeing any this year. It may happen, but who knows? So often it's just a matter of timing. Have to be up here at the right time, obviously, to see them. And it's terrible when you come up here, you don't see them, you're here all day, and then you find out that they came through the next day. I mean, it happens. Not seeing much nearby, certainly, as I look with the naked eye. I do see some Canada geese to our right. We'll look at those maybe very quickly. I have not seen today much Canada goose activity anywhere. There are areas, in my general area near my home, driving around, there are some places that are generally good to see them. I didn't go, to those today, but even driving around, I didn't see any on the lake. I didn't see, or Cayuga Lake, I did a couple mallards. Make it 3, 2 males and a female. And here are the Canada geese. A little bit breezy today. I mean, not bad, but a little bit breezy. Ground control's calling somebody in. Welcome. But it is quiet here overall. But like I said, maybe kind of quiet, maybe not too much like big excitement, but we've already seen, maybe more than we saw last week on Wildlife Drive, so I'm not unhappy. But as usual, I always want to see more. I was just glad to be able to sneak things in today. Once again, that makes it 3 weeks in a row. That's a northern harrier there. And another. Now, I don't know if they're the same two we had seen already. Yeah, they're just such beautiful flyers. They really are. But they're not close. I have difficulty showing them and recording them as well as I would like to from the car. Really like to be out on a standing with everything, my camera set up on a tripod. It's much easier for me. Hold on, I'm going to look to the other side a bit with my binoculars. 1 second. Come on, wire. Come on, wire. Leave me alone. I'm obviously not looking very closely at the other side. You never know, maybe I should. I haven't seen much traffic here in terms of, cars. It didn't look like there were many in the parking lot, and maybe this is the kind of day that kind of discourages people. So far, for our purposes, I'd say, the conditions have been good. It's not overly sunny, which so often is a problem for us. I just want to see more birds. I just heard somebody. It sounded like a sparrow of some sort. There's a quick sound. Still some precipitation falling, but nothing, not major right now. So, and I'm not showing them to you. Maybe you're catching a glimpse of them, but there are swallows out there. Look like tree swallows flying around. There have been reports of other swallows having, been seen here at Montezuma, on Wildlife Drive, etc. And I have to admit, my swallow identification skills aren't great. I guess it's the red-winged blackbirds. 4 more look like they're joining them up there, flying in. See all those grasses out there. Don't make for great viewing of ducks. And if you happen to be new to the tour, you might not realize that we have in the past seen literally thousands of ducks out there. But now, I don't know if you can see them or not, but we're looking at a lot of swallows flying around. And who's that in the distance? Harrier again. A little bit closer, but not close. Oh! I think we have a lot of red-winged blackbirds here. I just didn't see them. So it's not just the swallows. A lot of red-winged blackbirds who all of a sudden took off and then landed very quickly. I believe that's what I was seeing. You know, you may recall, if you have been a part of the tour, there are times in the, in the autumn where we see large flocks of red-winged blackbirds. And as I've said in prior weeks, it's a different behavior than what you'll see in the spring. In the spring, you'll see the males all, pretty much territorial. They're taking over areas and maybe chasing after the females a bit and chasing after anything else that moves. This time of year, you'll see large flocks of them, maybe mixed with common grackles, maybe some starlings as well. And sometimes they're flying in, large formations. I do hear 1 or 2 singing every once in a while right now. Oh, I missed it, sorry. So I'm guessing the feeding is actually pretty decent there, if I had to guess. So there are a few up in the tree to our right, but they're mostly here in the grasses doing whatever they're doing. Move forward a little bit. I love when they take off and we get to see them. See, that's one of the things I love so much about Montezuma. It does have some varieties we don't see at Sapsucker Woods, for instance, but it's not just that. It's the scale of everything. You see large flocks where you don't normally see large flocks of birds. What were those? Are there starlings out there too? Maybe, I don't know. We won't stay on them forever, but it's just kind of nice to see, All right, we're going to move on. Anyway, like I said, it's the scale of things here that we don't get at Sapsucker Woods. I mean, at the height of the season at Sapsucker, if we happen to see a grand total of 5 great blue herons, we think that's a big deal. Sometimes here we'll overlook an area where there may be 40 of them out there. Haven't seen any herons yet today. But as I mentioned to the people I was speaking with the other day about Montezuma, it's considered one of the best places in the country, one of the top 10 places in the country to see migrating birds. So, we're very lucky that we're able to do this relatively easily. It takes some doing and everything, but, it's worth it. I will say this, although I don't know, hopefully the whatever snow comes this winter will press down the grasses and maybe keep them down, and then if water is here as normal in the spring, again, I don't know, and I don't know the nature of these plants really, to be honest. Maybe we'll be back to a largely open area of water, but we'll see. One thing is certain. Over the years, I've seen, and we've seen together, I think, this area does change quite a bit. Here are some American coots, by the way. If you're not familiar, these are not ducks. They are similar in many ways, but, in terms of the overall form factor, but they are not ducks. And there are several of them here, and maybe more than I realize, just because the grasses are hiding some. There are at least 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're 9. I mean, I don't know how many are here, but I have a feeling there are maybe a fair number of them. And who is this? Are those gadwalls? I don't know, but we're going to try to find out. Okay, hold on. We're going to switch cameras. I think you realize that. Okay. Where'd they go? I think they're gadwalls, but I'm not sure. You. Yeah, that is a gadwall. It's a beautiful duck. Hold on, I can do this better. Not sure if that's a gadwall, to be honest with you. And there's something else out there I should look at, I think. Maybe just a couple ducks, but with the naked eye, it looks like there's something out there. But we'll look in a moment. I absolutely love this kind of lighting for seeing the birds. This is so much better than bright sunshine backlighting everything. Aren't they beautiful? They're just, I know we're not getting the very best look because we've got vegetation in the way, but they are gorgeous. They're beautiful ducks. Okay. All right. Now let's look out. There's something else out there. I want to see. Where'd it go? Northern shovelers. Or at least that one is. And who is that? I don't know. Looks like, is that a green-winged teal? Notice the green? And I'm not sure who else, yeah, maybe another green-winged teal, but there's an, looks like a male northern shoveler. Now he, normally when we see them, there's like a greenish head and everything, but this one looks like it's changing into its breeding plumage. It hasn't reached that point yet. Okay, and there may be something there. Maybe more teals. That was a gathering. Now, let's try to look at one of the coots a little bit more closely, just so you can get a look if you've never seen one before. We have vegetation in the way, of course. You know what? Hold on. Let's look over here. No. Those are the gadwalls. Oh, that's a common gallinule. That's not a coot. Very similar to the coot, but not a coot. And so this has been a good stop, good place to look around. There is the water's not really open, but there's some vegetation, but at least it's enough to draw birds to it and give us a decent look. But right now with the naked eye, I see almost nobody. Where'd everybody go? That's a coot right there. We're going to move along. Okay, let me just have a quick look with binoculars and see if there's anything else I'd like us to look at. No, not really. Okay, let's keep moving. I'm going to leave this camera in place. More coots up ahead, and actually another clearing. You might see, I see coots out there a little bit, a little ways I should say. And all right, let's stop here for a bit. You're hearing the coots, by the way. Kind of noisy. Who's that away out there? look at this coot while we're at it. Again, that's an American coot. And, okay, over here, I'm not sure who that is. Cute. And sleepy, but I'm not sure who it is. Okay, let me look around with binoculars for a moment. Oh, what's this? Teal, maybe? That's my guess right now, green-winged teal, but I don't know. Looks like it. Okay. But what else do I see? Kind of boxed in by a Subaru. Let me look around, see what else there is. Gadwall, green-winged teal. And coots, I believe. Sleepy is sleepy again. Its head was up, but now it's not. Let's keep moving. Oh, hold on. There's a Harrier. It's not close, but there it is. Uh-oh, starting to rain again. In the car, it's difficult for me, as I said. Okay, I'm going to let that one go. And we're going to move on. Hold on a second. Do I see somebody? Who is this? Female northern shoveler. If I can get a clear line of sight, I'll show her to you. This is not going to be great, but I'm going to give it a try. There she is. Of course, she put her head back. I could see her before. Now I can't see her bill, so we're going to keep moving. Oh, that would have been better. Hold on. Well, not great, but better. Hold on, let's look again. See if we can see her. A little better. Oh, we'll stop anyway. So she put her head back, but for a moment her bill was in clear view and really nice. But you can still see, you can at least still appreciate her feather detail. Okay. Oops. Hold on, what's that? What is that? Duck of some sort. It seems to be in intermediate plumage, I think. And what I need is a clear line of sight, and I'm not getting it here. But its head looked quite reddish. It may be, I don't know. It might just be a teal. And there, the green-winged teal, the top of a male's head, can be kind of reddish. Hold on. Depending on lighting and everything. Is that it? I don't think so. Cute. Hey. Where is what I saw that was... I don't see it now. Oops, sorry. Like I said, I was looking for a clear line of sight and I wasn't getting it. I'm going to back up. Hold on, I got to... Okay. Let's back up and see if maybe we can get whatever it was in sight. It did seem to be a duck, but I don't see it now. It may have gone into the grass. Oh, is that it? Could that be it? No. Okay, well there are some other ducks also. That's a green-winged teal. And I assume those are too, but it's hard to tell. Oh, I think I see it. Probably that male. If I had to guess, it was probably a male. Yep, that's a green-winged teal there. And it's much closer to its mating plumage, breeding plumage. And maybe that's what I saw, but I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, is that... Maybe another one. Hold on. Where'd he go? Come on. Did I miss it? I think we're just seeing green-winged teals, and that's probably what I saw originally. See an eagle in the air out there quite a ways. I've lost track of it. All right, let's keep going. Oh, I see the eagle again. It's out there. There it is. I'm gonna let it go. Just because it's out there and we're not getting the best look. If we were getting a great look, I'd continue it. So in terms of the nearby ducks, it seems like it's mostly green-winged teals. Oh, who's that? Oh, I think I see a pied-billed grebe. Come on. There you are. Hi, grebe. That is a pied-billed grebe. Another thing that looks like a duck but is not a duck. We haven't been seeing too many of those lately. Who's making that noise? Who is making that noise? Yeah? Actually, I don't know what green-winged teals sound like, so that could be a teal. I don't know. Montezuma is an important resting and feeding stop for migrating birds. I don't know if that's been the case, throughout eternity, or if it's at least partly due to the fact, and I'm guessing it is, at least partly due to the fact that, there's a lot of agriculture around here. And when we've seen, for instance, some fields that they get plowed or not plowed, they get harvested, and some food is left behind in that process, and geese take advantage. Canada geese, I believe snow geese as well, sandhill cranes. So we've seen that easily, and areas like this, obviously there's water here, and I'm guessing there's at least some vegetation that is a draw to the all the various ducks. So this is in terms of migration, it's a great stop and an important one. I hear ducks out there. I'm not sure what they are. They almost sound like mallards, but I may be wrong. Well, maybe I heard just the water falling. I don't know. Oh, what is that? I think I see a peregrine falcon. All right, let's block the whole world, unfortunately. And I think we're going to take a look at this falcon. The lighting won't be great. I'm going to lighten it up. Been a while since we've seen one of you. Good to see you. I may be wrong, but I think that striping is indicative of juvenile status. It's still good to see. Getting a little bit of heat shimmer. I don't know if that's because of heat from the car or what. You know, we're lucky in that we can see peregrines on a fairly regular basis on the Cornell campus. And, you know, it's not like that's a zoo, but it's not quite as natural a setting as this one. It's nice to see one in a more natural setting. We won't stay on it forever, but it's just nice to see this bird. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're looking at a peregrine falcon. And the striping means that it's on its breast and belly. It looks like it's a juvenile. We're going to move on very shortly. I could switch to a more powerful scope setup and we could get an even closer look, but I don't know if it's really worth it. we're going to move on very shortly. In fact, I think we'll move on now. Good to see you. Bye, Peregrine. Oh, just a little bit more. And only because I like the way that's framed. Okay, we're going to move on. In the distance, I see a northern harrier again, but it's like I said, in the distance, not close at all. And I don't know if it's one of the same ones we've been seeing. We know we've seen at least two. I saw two before the tour even started. And for all I know, it's the same two right along. I have no idea. To our left, normally in this stretch we have a couple open areas of water. With the naked eye anyway, I'm not seeing anything. No ducks, no geese, no nothing. Keep going. And I just took a quick check with binoculars, so I wasn't just relying on my own eyes. nothing here in this last, I didn't see much lately in this last little bit of open water that's right here lately. I haven't seen much, and I'm not seeing anything right now. So we are going to keep going. To our right, at least, hold on, let me just take a quick check of the binoculars. In the Bennings marsh or pool or whatever, I don't see anything either at all. But I'm going to set you down. I'm going to proceed a little bit more slowly. Looking here and there and there and here to see if I can maybe see something worthwhile. Hear a frog. Some red-winged blackbirds flying overhead. Not many, but a few. Actually, not a huge number, but a fair number. Anyway, I was saying earlier regarding Canada geese, I haven't seen much activity. You know, sometimes, although I see some in the air now, sometimes in prior years, as I approach Montezuma, and then once I arrive, you see flocks of them flying all over the place, and I haven't seen any of that today. We did see a fair number of them last week. Some here, but certainly at from East Road, looking down on the Knox Marcellus Marsh. believe I hear a crow. Make it two. See, for me, this is just a comfortable day, at least here in the car. Now, if I happen to get out of the car and be out and about, that may be a different story. And I don't know if I'll have any reason to get out of the car today, up here. Maybe. East Road might be interesting, but I have a feeling Chalky Pool and Mays Point will be their usual wastes of time. I shouldn't say usual, but I mean, I don't think they're going to be much different than they were the last couple weeks. There had been a report of a leased bidder. I believe, and I'm not sure exactly where, but I believe somewhere along this area. Judging by the way it was described, it makes the most sense to me. And I'm looking for it now, to be honest with you, but highly unlikely I'll see it. I mean, even when we're in the normal season for them, and we're not. That's why it was reported, because considering the time of year, it's considered a rarity. But the report... Hold on. See a sparrow of some sort. Not sure what it is. And I'm not sure. It's hard to... I don't know where it is now. Somewhere around here, I think. And I can't see it now. But there was some movement in there. I don't believe it was a song sparrow.
saw it again. Somewhere in here. Did I just hear a savannah or a swamp sparrow? Maybe. Hi. I'm not sure who that is. Okay. We're gonna move on, but I don't know who that was. We're gonna move on. I'm out of practice on my sparrows. I might have been able to recognize it, but I think I've forgotten one or two. What happens? Oh, I was going to get it again, I believe, and then it flew on. Now I don't know if I could see it. Okay. Might be a swamp sparrow.
So, you know, kind of a quiet day here, but we've seen some interesting things. So I'm actually happier with our drive this week than last week. As I've said before, you know, I've come to like winter more than I used to. You know, I don't want to deal with shoveling snow and all that nonsense, and I certainly don't want to deal with slippery roads. But in terms of of just winter in general, otherwise, there are things I like about it very much. And lighting sometimes is, not always, but sometimes is better in winter than it is in the other months for various reasons. And also, and more importantly maybe, get to see some birds that we wouldn't see in the other months. One species that comes to mind is the rough-legged hawk. Rough-legged hawk is, I don't know by memory its full range and where it is at what time of year, but we don't normally see them down here in the warmer months, only really in the late autumn into winter. And they're absolutely beautiful. If you're wondering why are we driving here, why is he not showing us all the birds to the left? Because there aren't any, or at least none that I can see. It's all grass, and the open areas of water don't seem to have anything on them. So now we haven't seen any herons, any great blue herons yet, and I don't know if we will. But thinking about things, it kind of makes sense. I'm not saying there are no fish out in the pool, but they're probably fewer than there have been in the past. Maybe frogs out there, but everything had been dried, and most areas were completely drained. So maybe there's, maybe the fishing and hunting isn't as good for them. I'm just speculating. I don't know. So if there are any great blue herons in the greater area, maybe they're elsewhere where the fishing's better. I would say, it's not like it's so late into the season that all the herons are gone. Or at least I should say, I doubt that they're gone. They might be, but I doubt that they're gone. I see 2 Canada geese and some other duck, I think. Some kind of duck, good one. Looks like is that a mallard? Yes. Looks like one min. Oh, and another mallard just took off from over here and landed in the water. Better get moving. It's about 12 minutes after 2.
here are the same two Canada geese. And actually, there are two mallards there. Okay, I only saw one. And then are there more? There's something else over here? Yes, a couple more mallards. Okay.
Feeling we're not going to see much more here on Wildlife Drive. Never know. Been nice in terms of lighting for us. The rain hasn't been too bad, so I mean it really hasn't interfered much. Although obviously, well, I don't know if you've seen it yet or not. I can't say, but sometimes when the raindrops gather on the windshield, the camera ends up focusing on the raindrops rather than up ahead. Well, that's annoying, but the rain has also helped to keep the dust down. Here on Wildlife Drive, it can be pretty dusty sometimes. So it's been kind of nice to be able to drive through without any problems like that. But it looks like we are just about out of space on Riverside Drive, or on Wildlife Drive. Okay, that is it for Wildlife. Yep, Wildlife Drive. Okay, we're done. Let's go on to some other locations. I was going to say, I think we'll skip the longer drive to get to East Road. Well, maybe we should. I'm always concerned that we might be lucky enough to come upon some sandhill cranes that might not be too far away, and we may get a good look at them. So I think we'll give it a try. I guess my fear is that too often we have connection issues when we in some of those areas. Didn't see any great egrets, didn't see any much really. Flying overhead, I think that's a crow. I think so. Yep, another one. More gulls to our left on that channel. here this winter, like we did last winter. My schedule is still tough, so I've been lucky to be able to do this last few, this week and last couple weeks. But in coming weeks, I can't guarantee it. By the way, I did see one other thing. I forgot to mention. And Canada geese over here.